Hello there, and welcome to the next chapter in Olina and the Big Wish. I hope you enjoy. Chapter 10 Rubber Legs. A change was in the air. They all felt it. Olina had goosebumps all over, and she determinedly kept humming the melody while signaling to Hazel and Elif to sneak along the cave wall towards the exit. Suddenly the vague light from the outside dimmed completely, and a huge, twisted silhouette blocked the way out. They all froze in fear, and Olina and Hazel stopped their humming of the protective melody. With no time to think, Olina grabbed Hazel and rubbed the hair charm, tapping into the feeling of the swiftness of a hare. She whizzed out through the legs of the meters while feeling the rush of being propelled forward. Her legs were like drumsticks to the ground in a super high-speed rhythm. The meters bent over and looked through its legs, but Olina was so fast and disappeared in a flash. When the charm wore off, they were a long way away from the meters and the cave. Olina collapsed and fell to the ground. She had overused the charm, and Flora's warning resonated in Olina's ears. Her legs felt like rubber, and at the same time they were incredibly sore. Hazel peeked out through Olina's big coat pocket. "Are we safe?" she asked, looking at Olina with big brown eyes. Olina couldn't move and moaned from the pain. "I shouldn't have used the charm again so soon. My legs feel funny. I'm so sorry we had to leave Elif in the Metis' cave. I couldn't take him with me." "There wasn't anything you could do. We must regroup and make a new plan. Can you stand up?" Olina tried to get on her feet, but her legs didn't work at all. They just laid there all limp like two rubber sticks. "No, they're completely useless. Flora warned me about using the charm too much. I'm afraid we must go home and see if I can get some help. Maybe the bog witch knows how to fix it." Olina felt bad that she had overused the beautiful gift of the charm, but she had to think fast and didn't know how to escape the meters. She found a soap bar and sighed. "I have to believe that there's other ways to get back here for the drum. But for now, I must get help. I can't do anything with these legs." With a big whiff of the soap bar, she thought of the bog witch's cozy cave in the middle of the misty bog back home in Whispers Forest. The now familiar twirling and swirling began once again, and before she knew it, she lay by the fireplace in Muma, the bog witch's homely, safe cave. It was a huge contrast to the murky, dark forest and the Metis' cave. Muma came out from the darkness in the back with a warm smile on her wrinkly old face. "Olina, I just thought of you. How wonderful to see you. Why are you lying there on the floor like that?" "I'm sorry, I can't get up. My legs aren't working. I was wondering if you could help me with that." Muma gave Olina a big hug. She smelled of warming spices, apples, and forest floor. Not unpleasant, but indeed very homely. "Now, let's see." She lifted Olina's leg, and it hung down like a wobbly stick. "Oh dear, what happened?" Olina told Muma everything, from Bew the troll who came to her for help with getting that ceremonial drum back, to her visit in Spring Forest, then the Dark Forest and their escape from the Meters. You see, said Olina, I thought it was the Dark Elves I should be aware of, but it turned out that Elif, the Dark Elf, is mostly misunderstood. I think he got twisted from all that greediness and competition between all the Dark Elves. He was baffled that anyone would help him. The creature we really had to beware of was the Meters, a fear creature. Oh, Muma, he was terrifying, but Hazel here, she patted on her pocket, and Hazel stuck her head out and blinked a few times at Muma and nodded. She taught me a melody to keep the fear at bay. It is quite beautiful, she ended. Muma, who had listened carefully to what Olina had said, nodded seriously. Yes, my dear, the Meters is an old entity, hard to escape. But you did it, I see, and it came with a price. Perhaps it's fair to say that if you stood your ground and used your beautiful melody, you wouldn't have been in this predicament. Yes, you're right. I think it was because I didn't trust myself and went for the fastest way out. I'd never felt so scared in my life, and I have been in a few hairy situations before, she added. There may have been another approach. What would happen if you just laughed at it? Laughed at it? Olina repeated. How on earth could I do that in such a terrifying situation? She thought about it for a while. Well, I suppose it's a bit silly to fear fear itself, as the Meters is a fear creature. Exactly, Olina. It's only the feeling. It's not like you were standing before a wild, angry boar ready to attack. The Meters is just a feeling, really. Nothing scary about that, is there? I guess not. Feelings change all the time. Whenever I feel sad about losing Mons, my cat, I always remember the wonderful times we had and how sweet he was, and then the sadness goes away. Maybe even changes into something else, she pondered. It's like all the good times can be played again, and the same with the bad ones. What we choose to focus on comes true. The thing I fear the most is being helpless and alone. So what's the opposite of that? You tell me, Olina, the bog witch said in a wide smile, encouraging Olina to go on with her musings. Well, I guess all those times when I felt helpless and alone, it has turned out that I really wasn't. There has always been a way, and a help always arrived when I needed it. I have much to be grateful for. In my life, I found my extended family, you, Berg, Bombil, Grow, and everyone I met the past few years. Olina had gotten so excited in her discoveries that she didn't notice she was sitting on her knees. When she looked at Muma, she suddenly realized, Muma, my legs are working again. I feel different. Yes, and not helpless at all, are we? Muma laughed. Olina was laughing too now. Something wonderful had suddenly started to grow, and knowing that something was always looking after her, even in the most difficult times.